Legacy Migration Extension Step 2 Reproducing Dimensions and Notes. Before using the copy annotation command to automatically recreate dimensions associative to the solid model views, we check to see that the config.pro option called Forward Annotation References exists and is set to Yes. There are sometimes perfectly valid 2D entities and notes that we wish to reuse from the imported drawing and relate to the solid view, such that if the solid view moves, these entities and notes will move along with it. Let's do this with this note here. The note leaders can also be attached to actual geometry using an edit attachment command, as shown here. Now, we choose the command called Copy Annotations. This second set of dimensions will be referencing the solid model and will change if the solid model dimensions change. We can use the Validate Associations dialog to see that all dimensions were duplicated. We essentially have two drawings present. One is the originally imported 2D drawing, while the other is the newly constructed 3D solid model drawing. Choosing the cleanup command hides any unwanted 2D entities and notes that were not explicitly related to the solid model views, and places this information on layers, hiding them in the process. Note the special layers for 2D notes, dimensions, and views that are automatically constructed by the Legacy Migration Extension after the cleanup process. The content on these layers are typically left alone until the drawing is fully validated. There may also be some additional content that we may want to erase or use instead of the original imported 2D data. For instance, I can erase these two scale notes here. This extra scale note can also be erased. The boundary for this detail view can be edited and used instead of the one that came with the 2D drawing. We can erase any extra axes that may also be shown on the drawing. And finally, we can change the display properties for each drawing view. This concludes the second step of the Legacy Migration Extension process, which is reproducing dimensions and notes, cleanup, and preparing the drawing for validation.